My name is Marc Collett. I'm an independent consultant, and with my partner, I run a small consultancy business, Burns Collett. I'm also a business advisor for Creative United. So, what role can crowdfunding play during the COVID-19 crisis? Clearly, at the moment, there's a strong focus on health, welfare, and social action fundraising during the crisis. But crowdfunding for creative projects, including converting physical projects to online activity, and for emergency support for freelancers, small companies, and larger organisations, is continuing as it always has done. But really importantly, there are added incentives on some platforms, including lower or even waived fees, and COVID-19 related offers. So, for example, for businesses, crowdfunders COVID-19 Crisis Fund is working with a range of partners to match fund any money raised for non-coronavirus related activity. And it's a particularly useful way of doubling your money really for a creative project. What role can crowdfunding play coming out of lockdown? Well, crowdfunding is a means of generating funds, but equally it's important in building your tribe or your family and garnering support for your cause or activity. So actually letting people know that you're still around, that you're active, that you've got projects coming up, that there's things that you want to do in the future, and actually that you need their support. So interestingly, the crowdfunding market itself is adapting to some of the challenges that a wide range of businesses, charities and individual practitioners are facing and will face in the future. And a really clear example of this is the crowdfunder site has signalled through its Pay It Forward scheme that they can provide creatives with the tech, the tools, to pre-sell tickets, to pre-sell products, bookings, services and more. It's a way of supporting creative business and individuals to generate cash right now to be redeemed against services after the crisis. And as part of that package, they've also waived all platform fees for the scheme. So it makes it a really attractive way about thinking about how you might re-engage with your audiences or with your participants for the future and generate some income for cash flow. I think it's really important over the next few weeks and months to check with other crowdfunding platforms, see what they're offering, because I think there's quite a lot of competition between the crowdfunding platforms. And if one starts doing one thing, others will start following with their own version of it. So, it's about doing your research. Do your research. There's a wide range of crowdfunding platforms out there. Not all will be right for your type of activity or be able to help you access your target audiences. Different platforms have different fee structures. Find out the right one for the type and the scale of campaign. And if you need flexibility around achieving targets, sign up to a platform that allows that flexibility. Also, around your research, seek out the crowdfunding match schemes that are out there. Architectural Heritage Fund currently have one. Power to Change, Nesta and Arts Council England have previously had them. Sports England has recently announced a 1 million crowdfunding match fund. So they do pop up from time to time. So keep an eye out for them, because if you can match every pound you raise with a pound from somebody else, you're doubling people's investment. And again, look out for other incentives. For example, the crowdfunders COVID Recovery Pay It Forward scheme, which is specifically targeted at the creative sector. Be realistic. It's great to have ambition, but you have to be realistic about what you need to raise and how much you might raise through a crowdfunding campaign. Research other campaigns for similar products and activities and see how they fared recently. All of the crowdfunding sites have current and past campaigns available for you to have a look at, and you can see the level of investment people are able to attract for different types of activity. And in terms of being realistic, there's going to be a lot of noise out there as people try to maintain or kickstart their creative business, and there's going to be a lot of competition for scarce resources. Don't overpromise. You need to be absolutely confident that you can deliver the activity or service you're fundraising for, and you need to be clear with your potential donors what the risks are around what you hope to deliver. But equally, crowdfunding operates around incentives, and you shouldn't overpromise on incentives, and particularly don't try to put in place incentives that will actually cost you far too much to produce or which is too difficult to deliver. And most important, be legal. Build your tribe. It's important to start out with a really well-planned social media campaign and have clear messages and realistic targets for the reach of your campaign. A really useful tip is to use close supporters, friends and family to help you kickstart a campaign and get the first donations committed before you launch. There's nothing worse than a crowdfund campaign that sits there with 0% achieved for the first few days. It doesn't encourage people to get involved. If you have a board or patrons, involve them in the campaign from the outset, not just as ambassadors, but also as contributors, and get as many people in the company to make their contribution to the campaign, even if they're only small ones. It actually starts building momentum and confidence. Provide those close supporters with a simple marketing strapline so they can share that with their wider group of contacts and get them involved as well. Spend time before you launch planning your campaign and producing the resources. For a lot of platforms, you will need a short video, but it's really important that you don't try to create something that's too corporate. You need to create resources that reflect the style and the values of your organisation. Keep your costs down. Don't invest too much of the resource that you want to spend on your activities in putting together the campaign. Why is crowdfunding really important right now, particularly to creative businesses? Firstly, clearly, it's been a really, really tough time for a whole range of practitioners, small companies and small businesses. And it's a way of generating new resources back into your organisation, either for now to help you with cash flow right now, or actually so that you know that there's income coming in for the future, for future activities and projects. But I think secondly, it's about letting people know that you're here, you're around, you're planning things, you've got some exciting things coming. It's a way of marketing your organisation and about getting people to come to you to support you and to support what you're doing.